Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 13 of GT Podcast. And today, our topic's going to be the rise and fall of Call of Duty over the past few years. It's really gone downhill compared to what it used to be, where back in the day it was like the juggernaut of the video game industry, especially with the first person genre. And you would hear about it everywhere you go. Midnight releases every year, same time, November. But nowadays, it's really going downhill, and it's just falling off the deep end now. Like recently with Cold War coming out, and it's not up to par. It's really not
Not
compared to cause like it was coming off the heels of Modern Warfare 2, like not Modern Warfare 2 the
right.
game, but like
The remaster.
the remake. It's a remake, right?
It was a yeah, I would say
Modern Warfare was a remake.
I would say it was a remake, but the remake was good, wasn't it?
No, yeah, the remake was amazing. It was great.
Right.
The problem was that what followed was
Campaign was amazing.
the game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
The game in general was amazing. I liked it.
I was gonna say the campaign was definitely like a very good campaign as like a prequel to what was gonna happen in Call of Duty 4,
Okay.
which is like really nice to have.
No, I think it's a full rewrite.
Wait, I'm sorry. Which one is the one? No, it's a. Hold on, I have to go on BattleNet now to check through this.
No, it's a completely new rewrite.
Because I think this game was a they have the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered, right?
Yeah, they
Which is a
remastered
that.
that.
So
Yeah.
that's the remaster.
Yeah.
Then they have
Modern Warfare.
let's not talk about this one. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Black Ops 4 or yeah.
Yeah, cause like that's the whole thing that's going on now with the Black Ops series and the Modern Warfare series with Cold War. Cause now it's definitely confirmed that they are in the same universe, but now it's
Hey.
everything after Black Ops 1 is now non-canon.
Okay, so while I'm on the Battle.net store, I'm gonna be completely real with you. I can't even find where the remaster, or I can't even find the game. It's
What?
not here.
Really?
Yeah,
Check Steam.
Maybe Steam?
maybe
Some of them are on Steam.
I don't
know.
remember this
I know
being on
some of the
Steam
Black Ops
though.
games are on Steam. Like Black Ops 3 is still on there for full price for some reason.
Yeah, my brother has a lot of those games on Steam, I think.
Let me take a look really
'Cause
fast.
I
The
didn't
only
want to
reason-
pay for Xbox Live anymore, but I really enjoyed Black Ops 3 with everyone, and I really wanted to play it again.
You know, those games are
But
great, the older
paying
ones.
full price and then I have to buy all the DLC again, it's just unappealing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to, because it's no. What was it was just Modern Warfare, right?
Yeah,
It's
just
the
Modern
title.
Warfare.
Modern Warfare, yeah.
So when I'm looking for Modern Warfare, I see the remasters. I see. Let's just type modern. Let's just see what pops up, and if I probably.
It should only be on Battle.net. That's weird.
So I'm only saying this because I remember seeing this beforehand, because I'm seeing sorted by feature, and when I put all games in, they only have 6 games from Activision, and it's Vanguard, the beta, Warzone, Call of Duty Black Ops, Cold War, the Modern Warfare 2 campaign remastered, then you have Black Ops 4, and then they have their Crash Bandicoot 4 game. And that's it. That's all I see. And I remember it before Warzone, I remember there being Modern Warfare.
I think it's just they combined Warzone, maybe.
You know what? I think that might be what it is. I think you just have to go through the Warzone client to get to the game.
Okay.
Probably.
If that's the case, fine. But you're also literally hiding the entire single player base of a game.
I mean, cause like that's not the main thing that's marketed now anymore. They don't care much about campaign compared to what they used to.
You know what it is? Because I feel like people only play the game. Because people really, in the long term, they play it for the content-based multiplayer or the content-based game modes that they play with and they come out with. Which is always like the terms of like how old school, or it was like zombies was the big thing.
Yeah.
And they made it like very fun to like kind of like. I remember like YouTube being a really big like blow up back then with COD, zombies, like how to do the Easter eggs
Yeah.
and tutorials and stuff. Because that back then it was like there wasn't that much information on the internet about it, and if you found it on like a forum somewhere, you could probably find it somewhere. But somebody was writing it on a YouTube video, and you were watching it while you were doing your run.
Yeah, no, I remember back then, like back when they first came out, like I was literally with my friends. We would just gather up, like we would go through the map like one time to just like play it, have some fun, learn the map and everything. Then we'd go back like 2 or 3 times and be like, all right, let's try to solve this on our own without any tutorials. We'd try to go as far as we can, but then like if we got stuck, we would then just go to a tutorial.
But like that's the thing though, like because a lot of times I feel like unless you're like really, really like being like noticeable of like certain details in the maps, you're not gonna figure it out. But like that was fun. So like it really challenged the players to figure out how the Easter eggs worked and ultimately solve it and kind of get like that reward of like you complete the Easter egg. Especially because like in like later CODs, in like some of the like within like one of the COD games I try to remember, it was like you need to do all the other Easter eggs to receive like the
Yeah,
final Easter egg, which was like very like so it gave you like a sense of like to accomplish the end goal we have to go through everything, which was like it's all right. Like they had it was released with the DLCs and stuff, but like it was worth it because everyone was gonna play the DLCs for the zombies. That was like
yeah.
the main thing.
Yeah.
Like that was Black Ops 2 was I remember that. It was because it was like okay, there's like two sides to the what was it? What's the word? To the Easter eggs, and then depending on what side you did, you had to do that for the entire way through. Then you have to do the like that side of the Easter egg in the final map.
Right, right. I'm trying to remember. I think because I remember this being the case though, like with all this in terms like let's say like the original Black Ops, where you had to get like everything. Like if you were in the George Romero map, you had to get like that weird like alien like piece, and then you had to, in like the jungle temple thing might have been like one from like one of the maps. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's Shangri-La. Yeah, most of the maps you did need to do the like actually get
You had to get like the main piece of plot point for that map, which is like definitely like halfway. It was like always like past like the halfway point or like just the whole thing. You had to go do it, but I give them credit for what they did back then. Nowadays, I don't think that's like really what they aim for. Like, yeah, zombies is like something that people will only play COD for, and then you have people who are only gonna play for multiplayer, and just like that's it.
And then you have the
But
people that only play Warzone.
now Warzone is the biggest like upbringing of the game, where like that's your main competitor to a game like Fortnite, I want to say, where it's your battle royale, but it's your modern warfare battle royale that people get to play through and kind of experience for COD, and that's what people really like it for. But like, I'm pretty sure it's still based on that Modern Warfare engine, correct?
Yeah,
Right?
that engine
Which
is
is
beautiful.
which is why people like it, right? But if we compare that engine compared to, let's say, Cold War that they came out with, um,
The engine's lackluster.
the engine, and the
Not
servers and everything like with that game is really just not what it's meant to be. Honestly, even like I don't really know how I'm gonna say this. Even like the zombies is like, because like
there's no personality in the zombies now.
I don't feel like there's much personality to it. Like okay, what I actually was kind of like happy about in a sense was like the cutscenes that you get for like beating the like thing of it or whatever. Like there's like a story that's going on. I was like, okay, like so they're trying to make everything like
They're trying to make it connected to the like
yeah,
the original
the
things.
original, which is I'm fine with that.
Because in
Fine.
Black Ops 4, they like officially ended like, oh yeah, this is it, this is the end. But then they're like, ah, never mind, just kidding, we're joking. Even though it's like, what more can you do with the story? Like it was
Milk it.
like it was such a bittersweet ending in Black Ops 4, and I was like yeah, I will admit, and the ending not the greatest, but like
Is that the one with the where you're like fighting in like the World War II like Cold War thing going on, like, and it's like the giant robot mechs?
No, that's Black Ops 2. Black Ops
But
4.
like, see, I thought that's where it ended because that's like in reality like that was like my last COD, I want to say.
No, in reality, that was like where it like really was like starting to go crazy. It's like, all right, ticket into high gear, let's go.
Right.
I think finally Andres is bugged.
You have Ludens.
I mean Ludens.
It just proc.
There's no burst. You didn't see the burst?
I saw it.
If you, as long as you hit something with it, you'll get the
See,
thing.
there you go.
Oh. She's so low.
But what was I saying?
But yeah. So I really think that it kind of has not been the case, and it's been like this for a while, right? So Cold War, I want to say, has been like not on par because of all the stuff that happened with it, right? Then you
Yeah.
have, though, this is gonna be funny. So I bought World War II, right? It's in the packaged wrap that's in the like for the like when you buy it from GameStop.
You
For,
just
like,
ha-
I
you just
bought-
have it unopened.
I swear to God, it's still unopened to this day. I never opened it. Like no one, no, I thought people like my friends were playing it because I was like, okay, like that big. I like this is the one thing I thought was like kind of interesting, like in concept when they mentioned it, and that's why I wanted it was the big like really large player maps, like if you were like invading like Normandy. Like I thought that was gonna be cool, and then like all the people I had, like all my friends, they played it for like one day, and that was it. They didn't.
Yeah, no,
touch
I
it
don't think that
again.
ever actually was a thing in the game. I never saw that.
No, it was. It was a big thing. Like there was like a big like in the older CODs they would call it like
No,
the.
no, no. Yeah, I know in the old CODs, but in the
Hmm.
in World War II, I don't remember anything from World War II.
There was like an objective based like mode if it was kind of like playing Battlefield where like you do like the objective of like that multiplayer map, and then like the map might like break or whatever, and then you go further into the map. Like if you're on the attacker side, right?
Was this?
But like
I don't remember this.
this was
at
this
all.
was you have attackers and defenders. This was like a big thing.
Cause like
Um,
this sounds like rush mode from Battlefield. That's what it sounds
Exactly, but but that's my point, right? So like, Rush, like in Battlefield is good. Rush was like actually like
like. Rush is the game mode of Battlefield.
Rush is the game mode of Battlefield, right? And then you take that mode and then you try to put it on like a COD level, and like
It doesn't
was
work.
it like in concept like it sounded cool, but like I never heard anyone be like, wow, but you know what? I heard one person talk about this, and it was who was it when I was working? You know John? John,
John P.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he told me about it at one point, and I was like, oh wow, really? I'm like, okay, that's like awesome. I never played it though. After that, like after he told me that, I never heard anything about the game ever again. And then that was it. I never heard anything else.
Yeah, no, it fell off. Like the zombies are super weird. Like I give them credit. They were trying to do their own like they're trying to make it horror because remember
Mhm.
back with World at War, the zombies were all horror type. They were trying to bring that back, but like the story was so weird. I don't know what was going on. was
I think
completely
like they
lost.
just need like if they hit a point. Well, here's my thing. Like eventually, like didn't like the zombies kind of get like really like weird and like out of control to a
Yeah.
point where like they were like it's like kind of like goofy. Like it wasn't like really bad like the
How,
zombies
how did
anymore.
it become goofy?
It was
I-
it was kind of goofy.
They made zombies like goofy. Like they made it like an entire theme park right place. That
Oh
you
no
could,
no
like,
no! You're thinking of
What?
you're thinking of what's it called? You're thinking of Infinite Warfare.
Okay, so like I remember that being like the one game that they made that happen.
Okay,
Or-
that game was actually fine. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind the Spaceland one, but here's the thing: all the DLCs that followed that game, oh my god, they were not good. They were not good.
I don't know. I just remember that being the case, and then like outside of that, I guess in all those other games, the other games I'm trying to think that like were
One
really that
HP.
great.
Oh wait, I lived?
You live with 1 HP.
I want to
Oh
say
my god!
that what game was it? Ghost.
But no,
I wanna say.
okay, yeah, Ghost also had like the alien, the extinction mode, where it's
Right.
like, that story was that also was pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't even. I swear to God, I don't even remember that there was extinction mode during that.
It was-
Wait, no, I'm remembering it now. Is that the one where you like bought like you had like points and it was like kind of like playing like Gears
Yeah,
of
like
War?
you had skill points, yeah.
Okay, this is the one where it's Gears of War. You get the points and you spend the points on things.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay, I liked it for a bit when I played that, and then I was like kind of tired of it. I was like, because that was an entirely separate mode where you had to level up your like your whatever it was to get like the other stuff.
Yeah, you had to level up yourself outside of the game to then get it in to again be able to use it in
Which was
game.
stupid. Yeah, it was just like, all right, so I have to grind this, and it's like, but in reality, like, are we really gonna grind this? Like me and my friend group, it's like probably
And it's
not.
like it's not worth it. Because in reality, there's only one class that's worth it. It was like the medic, because the medic has so much health, regen, and everything. It was like,
Right.
why
So
would you
why
use anything else? It's not worth it.
exactly? So like these games like have like in a sense like there's like all the port cods, and now we're like having this moment again like of a port cod, and the only thing that you really have redeemed about COD now is you have Warzone, and I guess you have like the pro scene if you care enough about like the pro scene, which is nice because I remember like them having a bit of pro scene like build up with the esports scene, and like now it's like being really hyped, which is like kind of nice to see that there is a point of like all these like of like playing this COD competitively.
You know where I remember hearing the pro scene the most? Black Ops 2 was back when there was like a ton of it.
I don't even remember. I remember them like which one is the one with the mech suits? I'm trying to like where you can like jump around and ride the walls. Is that
That was
BO4
Black Ops.
or is that Infinity
That's
War?
Black Ops. That's Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare,
There was an Infinity War?
Okay, so
Okay, not
swear-
Infinity. It was like Infinite Warfare.
I think I remember seeing Infinite Warfare have a pro scene, and that was like there were like people like these players are like actually taking over the map entirely and like using it to their like momentum.
Oh.
Which was kind of nice and interesting to see, but I could never play that game. Like it was just something I never could like
I
learn.
don't know if my brother played that game. It sounds familiar.
Not great.
I don't know. It's not.
I didn't like it. I thought the whole story was dumb. I didn't even touch the multiplayer. That's how much I hated it.
Is that the story where they added
Space.
Kevin Spacey? Right.
No, space, like literal space, not Kevin
I was
Spacey.
gonna say.
No, who's the actor they had
Oh,
added?
Jon Snow. Whoever's Jon Snow, that guy.
Right.
I know nothing of Game of Thrones, so I don't know.
No, not him. Who's the one that like in the game? It's like his like he gives you your arm back.
That's Kevin Spacey. That's Advanced Warfare.
Right. That's what I'm thinking of. My bad. But like that, I kind of like that like celebrity appearance when they put him in that game at that time before like before he had like a lot of stuff going on.
I mean, they're like okay, but they're not great. Cause then
I
like,
don't know. I feel like it was more like a meme.
Because then here's the thing, like yeah, it was a kind of a joke. Then like they were like, oh, let's have Conor McGregor, the wrestling guy or boxer, MMA, I forgot who it was.
Right.
They're like, oh, let's have him, and then let's have who was
Wait,
it?
what do you mean? Let's have wait.
Conor McGregor was in the game.
McGregor?
Yes.
Which
Come
one?
to me.
He's an MMA fighter.
Wait,
Yeah.
which COD?
He's in both Jon Snow and him are in Infinite Warfare. Jon Snow is the main villain, and oh my god, he's the worst villain I've ever seen.
Infinite.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you like the
Warfare.
stupidest quote I've ever heard of from that game. One of the quotes is, "We don't fight, we attack." I'm like, what do you mean? That's the same thing.
What does that even mean?
Well, I don't know. It's just the same thing.
Wait, why is Conor McGregor in this? What?
I don't know. He's in it for some reason, and he's terrible.
Honestly, though, like I feel like if they did stuff like that now, it would like. I don't know.
They still try to do it, but it's like no one wants
Wait,
it.
and you're right. Oh my God, Jon Snow is in this too. What? It's so weird.
But like the only time like the celebrity was good was Kevin Spacey, because Kevin Spacey was like he's a good villain presence, and that was like around the time I think what was that show he was in came out?
Oh,
House of Cards came out.
House of Cards, yes.
Yeah, like that came out at the same time. So like that was a big
Yes.
hype thing with him.
Oh, it was pretty popular, actually.
I don't know. I think the celebrity stuff kind of kills it.
Right.
I guess. I mean, like.
They can be good, just like you need to find the right people. Because
Yeah.
it kind of feels like, you know how some movies they're like, oh, let's get this actor because they're a big name.
Some?
Okay,
I think it's just
okay, okay,
Some?
okay, 90% of movies.
Alright. Some... You can't hide that they literally hire big name actors who literally cannot act for their life.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, actors. I should say maybe reality stars. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, they do that with games. Is pretty bad.
But like, if you think about it, that's like the reason why you want to buy the game.
Yeah,
Just
that's
so
the
you
whole point. It's just free advertising.
That's
exactly.
with everything nowadays. It's just like, oh hey, we're gonna go throw this into this game. Maybe you'll play it, and it's like,
Yeah.
alright,
Exactly that.
if this game is bad, I'm not gonna play it. Like, just because I can play some character in this game that I like, it's like, yeah, but if the game is not good, and I don't like the game, I'm not gonna play it.
Yeah.
See, like, I feel like that's also like a thing that like I don't really have characters to relate to in any of the current like any of like these newer like CODs. I can't say that with like Cold War and their stories.
Cold War's like, yeah, no, that one's like, oh look, but like, here's the thing. I'll admit with Cold War, after like a year or however long it's been out, I have my nostalgia glasses finally came off, and yeah, I like kind of don't care for the new characters, like what they do
Yeah, I
to
don't
them.
care.
They're not great.
Yeah.
I thought they were okay. I mean, the only one I really was like kind of cool with was like the KGB agent. And
Oh no.
besides that, that was really it.
Press the button, and I did something. I
And
literally
then
just pressed the button.
you know what I did too? Like in that mission where you have to choose one to save, I didn't even save it. Like I don't
Oh
know what
no,
it was.
I didn't. Oh. Oops.
So like I kind of like feel like I messed up there. I don't know, but I feel like the characters like don't really even
The only good new
kind of
character,
relate with
the
them.
only new good character is Adler. I like Adler.
Oh no, Adler was really good. Yeah.
I
Like
like
that-
Sam.
Sam, okay, no, Sam like, oh wait, no, wait, what do you mean? No, she's always been it.
Samantha Maxis.
I mean the new characters. Sam's not.
Oh yeah, I don't know any of the new characters. I'm not crazy about them.
Yeah, the only good new character is
I
Adler.
feel like they're pieces of cardboard.
They are actual. That's one of the reasons why I feel like Cold War is falling off. There's no personality in like anything. Like
The only thing,
like the zombies. Yeah, it's cool that I guess I can now play my operator. But here's the thing: all the personality is gone. There was no personality in the game.
yeah, it's just the bare bones of the engine and then the actual game itself consistent. But I don't know. That's why like when I think about like the remember like in the old
Oh my-
COD, like we had like the original like COD 4 is like this is like the like we started off with like not knowing Soap, and then we knew Captain Price, and we knew like
And like,
Gaz, and like all those characters.
yeah.
And what was nice about the remake of that Modern Warfare was like they kind of like threw the hint in like near the end of it. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna make a team, and these are all the people I want on this team.
Yeah.
And all these characters like Ghost, Gaz,
Like literally
Like,
everyone from the Modern Warfare series coming back.
right? And it's an entire team made by Captain Price, which is like sick. Even though it's like kind of weird because I'm pretty sure they mentioned that guy Soap Actavish in that one. And it's like who is Soap in COD 4, so it's like really awkward.
No, I told you it's a full remake. Like everything's being completely remade. Like it's.
I know,
gonna be a new
but like,
story.
if they're trying to make a new story based on this whole thing. So wait, here's a question then. Actually, if you're saying this is supposed to be like a whole new story, are they supposed to like? This is not supposed to be a continuation of COD 4, right? Like they're going to at some point make a new Modern Warfare.
Yes, a new Modern Warfare 2, pretty much with a
That's
whole new
like,
story. You're gonna
okay.
have Makarov coming. But here's one thing I hope they do that. I hope they don't pull their punches. They kind of pulled their punches a little bit in what was it?
In this
Warfare.
one?
Yeah, there was like an option where it's like you could have shot civilians, but like the game was like, never, hey, that's wrong, don't do that. But it's like the game like teases you to do it. Like there's an interrogation scene where you can straight up like say this like point a gun at a like mother and child,
And you could, yeah.
and you could do it.
And then honestly, if you think about it,
But like here's the thing: if you try to do it, the game will straight up say no. And it's like, but
well,
why?
no, because in the thing he doesn't even give you a loaded gun. Like,
No, but
if you think about it,
he doesn't. But then it goes back to it, and he like.
no, I know, and then they give you the option, right?
Then it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like now you got a loaded gun. Now what you do?
Oh no.
But then don't you fail the mission if you shoot the?
Yeah,
I
you think
Sonya's.
yeah, that's the thing. You fail the mission, so it's like, oh, okay. So what was the point?
Well, the point is like it's like you're really gonna like it's like intimidation, and then like you're not supposed to do the intimidation, like fulfill your point of intimidation.
But like the whole point of it is to show like yes, this is a real thing that happens. They will like literally like antagonize.
Well, because they were trying to do it so they get the information out of the villain. So like that's the whole point. And then you could just like choose to straight up kill the villain if you feel like it, like which is like whatever, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you do that, it's like, what's the point of me doing this?
Oh my god, the damage charts.
So, but like I miss like all like these characters that like are built up on like such like old. Like, see, like I don't think that's like the case with like new characters in like a lot of these like newer games.
Yeah. Like
They make-
like Cold War, yeah, they brought back everyone in the Black Ops series, but it kind of just felt like they were there to be like, oh look, it's the people you know and love.
Mhm.
Here you go. Does it make you want to
But,
play
like-
the game?
But maybe that's like the reason for like why it was such a massive selling point for like the story. It's like the throwback, right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants to play it for that throwback, that nostalgia. That's it. Like, if I wanted like a game that like I know like is gonna like okay, this is where it's like
I can't
COD
click.
4
Anything, can I?
or like COD 4 and World at War. So like in terms of, like competitive games, like where they kind of like had their like games I felt like were really doing awesome for the time back then. So like Halo 3 came out and like I really like resonated with like that character in like Halo 3. Granted, that was the first time I ever played a Halo game in my life, but like I heard about how Halo was like supposed to be this really awesome game.
Yeah.
Then I played through Halo 3's like main story. It was just as good as I thought it was. The multiplayer is pretty damn solid, and that's the same case with like COD. But like the COD, I felt like had like the overall like the better like thing because you have like the entire world being turned upside down in terms of multiplayer. Growing up, if you ever experience a COD lobby, you would know, right?
Oh.
Like that's like an entire world itself where it's like you have to have like been growing up during that time to experience what it was like to join a COD lobby because I can't even like describe what it was like.
We cannot
but, like,
describe it on stream. That's how bad it is. Like
I
it's-
can't look up on this team.
I can't describe if I don't even. It was a culture shock. I think like being like young, playing COD 4 and experience and like having like talk. Definitely like playing with people who are older than you, and like someone might have called you like trash, or whatever the case was. But like you didn't care. You like probably like 10 or like I don't know, like 10 years old or so, like whatever. And you're just playing COD. Like
Well,
just-
are you coming or what?
Well, I mean,
You're
it come.
coming.
Well, I get really fast because look, here I come. The Star is Born, like the hit movie.
Right. But let's say
Oh.
like a game where like I don't really know like would be so competitive
Oh.
and it's like not like a realistic like COD shooter. Like I'll say like Medal of Honor, right? So like Medal of Honor I wanna say is like the closer one to it, right?
Yeah. Okay. Medal of Honor. I'll say like back in the day with the beginning of COD with like COD 1, 2, and 3. That was their main competitor. I would think.
But I never even here's my thing, so I played like maybe one Medal of Honor growing up and it wasn't mine, it was my friends. I don't remember it at, like any way, shape, or form, and I don't really think it was like that good. It didn't stand out because like they never made a game afterwards, like for years. And then they made like Medal of Honor, and it was the one where you jump out the airplane, like the paratroopers.
Oh, the airborne. Okay, I think it was fine until like they went to the modern era. Once they went to the modern era, it was like they were trying to catch up to what COD was doing, but they couldn't match it. They really couldn't.
So like that game existed, right? And then the most recent one was the VR game.
Yeah, but like that's what I think. They came back with the VR game, and the VR game's amazing. So I feel like that's like.
But you know what? I think that's like it's a highlight for VR, right? If you own a VR, you should buy the Medal of Honor game because what the amount of effort they put into it is necessarily done correctly, right? But if you look at like any other game, like imagine if like COD made it like a VR game, like now it's gonna probably end up outshining that Medal of Honor game if they did it. But like if you were around with a VR for the longest time and you know which one came out first. You clearly know which one, but then you'd compare. But like, I think it was good for what it was at the time.
Yeah.
But now it's just like the most mainline competitor to a COD at the moment. Until like maybe Halo Infinite comes out, in my opinion, I think that like might be the one that like a lot of people go back to because it's gonna be like the old school days of like COD versus like a bit of like Halo, because that was like definitely the like people in terms of like what was growing up. Because like I'm also gonna say this with Halo too. Because like COD was like kind of like there's like a bit of a dip. I felt like when Halo Reach came out, every single person I've ever met and other people I knew, it was a big culture thing. Like they joined on Halo Reach because of the fact that you could make the fun experience of game modes exist. And like COD had that at 1.2.
Nothing custom like that. Like,
Nothing you couldn't build an entire arena, or you couldn't build like a game mode where it was like, all right, Jenga, or whatever it is with like the slope hill that like you drive the warthogs down, and then you have some guy as a zombie and he would smash you with the hammer, and then you become that person and you'd be hitting these cars that were speeding, like literally flying down.
oh
a ramp.
yeah, I remember that one. That one was fun. I know
Because
yeah,
that was
there's tons of
that was
those.
yeah, and then you had to, if you were a zombie, you were getting like smashed by the trucks that were flying at like 50 miles per hour, like out of control in the air, like they're just spinning out of control. Like that was fun. I thought that was a hilarious game mode, and you don't have that in COD, but like you got like things like when we grew up, it was Michael Myers. We
Yeah.
grew up, dodgeball was one of them. Hide and go seek. I'm trying to think what else they had that might be good. Those are like the three main ones.
Yeah, those are like
I
most
think.
of the main ones I've seen.
Besides that, there's definitely another one. I just don't know the name of it off the top of my head or what it was involved with.
You know, it's just been a long time. You know.
And I guess like if you wanted like to 1v1 your friends, or like whatever the case was, and it was just like the sniper quick scope, no scope only Modern Warfare.
Yeah, that was so good back then.
Shipment.
Shipment, the tiniest map of all time.
Shipment.
Utter chaos. Utter chaos.
Shipment or Rust. I was gonna say I just saw this video while I was like bored today. It was a Donkey video on YouTube, and it was Donkey naming all the COD map names. And I swear to God that he made like every single map that he made up a name for, except for Rust, and there was another one I can't remember the name of. Nuketown.
Oh yeah, Nuketown.
Nuketown being such a great map, and Rust being such a great map. Like those are like two iconic maps that no other player can ever forget.
Yeah, like they're in like pretty much like reference all the time, or they're like in every game.
Yeah.
Exactly. But like in the Donkey video, because like honestly, it's such a great like pop culture reference for like YouTube of like the generation that we kind of like grew into YouTube with. The fact that he doesn't like he made up like names for all the COD maps that like he couldn't even think of, but like he knew 2 maps. It's like a key sign. Like it's just like this is like a culture thing. Like you grew up into this. Same thing with like the COD lobby voice chats. Different, like entirely different cultural shock. Halo Reach was like cultural shock. There's not really much else though. Like they don't have cultural shocks in these games anymore. Now,
What do you mean by cultural shock?
like
Like-
I don't know, like Fortnite came out.
Like
It was a full,
like like that, like something that's like such a big impact on like society and culture.
the
that,
gaming
like,
entire like all of gaming culture / like gaming.
like it's something you would
industry.
hear about even like if you weren't like a big time fan.
Oh, okay.
Like Fortnite and Among Us, right?
You hear that all the time. Like
hear that all the time.
I hear like my baby cousins talking about it, and like my grown family members who know nothing about games.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
That's how common those things are.
Like Pokemon Go was it, and to the point that it was like they had to give you warnings to like not go in the street, so or like not go on highways or whatever, so you don't get hit by traffic. Like,
That's another reason why COD is dying, because like when my brother was like 12, 13, he was like begging my parents to get like the Call of Duty games and stuff like that. But now like kids in that age range are playing like
They just want
Fortnite and
V-Bucks.
Among Us.
Yeah, they just want V-Bucks and stuff like that.
Like it's a completely different like
A
generation.
different mindset.
Yeah. I live.
but that's just what it is nowadays. This is what it's all become. The games have become like repetitive in a sense. And I know, Paul, I think you mentioned it where like BO3, BO4, and Infinite.
Like they were just
Repetitive,
so like so repetitive.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the only like genuinely good company that I think was like within this COD
Oh no.
world and universe was like the originals and whoever like worked in the originals, which was what, Treyarch, right?
Originally, yeah, it was no. Actually, I think it started with Infinity Ward on PC, and then
It was.
It
Yeah.
was. I think Treyarch joined to do like the console ports. I think.
Right. But like, I don't know what they did in the time between then and now, but like probably just people get burnt out and then they have to make up new ideas, whatever.
Yeah.
It just happens. Nothing you could do. The only best thing I would say is just like in like time, if you really want like a game, it's like a shooter or whatever the case is. Or just like look around and experiment.
Yeah, I would say like one thing with the old CODs, I feel like they were a lot better most like overall with most of them, like that, like with modern, like not Modern Warfare, like Medal of Honor 2. Like I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe because I'm more of a fan of those games. Cause I still remember like, alright, I'm gonna say it, my favorite COD, forget Black Ops, all those games, forget that. Best COD, Big Red 1. COD 2 Big Red 1, easily the best one. You cannot tell me otherwise.
Yeah, I was
Because
gonna
that
say COD.
because that game, that was like the first COD to actually do like, you know, a cast of characters that you grew with and like you got close to as like your squad.
Right.
And they were so good. They were like the best. I love those. I still remember like pretty much all of their names and like everything that happens to them. They're such good characters.
I'm gonna be honest.
And then it had multiplayer too. Like the
Right.
old like
Yeah, it was like the Xbox Lives.
Xbox
Was it?
Live or whatever the PS2 one was, the weird one for PS2.
The PlayStation Network. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember they had those.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
What?
exactly though.
I don't remember if they had something else. I was trying to remember. Couldn't think of it.
No, they only have like that PlayStation Network that they had offered at the time, but you had to like.
It was like it needed like an Ethernet port or something.
Right. No, you needed an internet connection through an Ethernet port. Yeah. Because that's not the only game that did that. At the time, I'm only saying this because I was a fan of the series. It's like Monster Hunter. I always like it said on it like online play, and like when I was trying to buy games like growing up, my parents were always confused. Like my parents had confused me to make me think that that game would be only online, but like I had bought Monster Hunter already at the time. So it's like, what is this game then? Like I can still play it clearly, can't I? Because it's a single player game, but like it's multiplayer. It's like part of the game. Like you have the multiplayer make it work. But it's only online. You can't just split screen or anything. Which in COD, is split screen, and all that stuff too. But and that's also another thing too. Like who plays split screen? Everyone owns a console.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how big the gaming industry has become. How far we've grown with it too. And then besides that, just
Oh, come here.
the fact that
I will say one thing back then, like with the, I will say back then, I think I said it before, like back then COD's main competitor was like Medal of Honor. I feel like Medal of Honor was way more cinematic than COD.
I think it was
It was like
honestly,
it was because like
I'm gonna
most of
say-
the Medal of Honors back then, they were like, you weren't just like a soldier, you were a regular soldier, but then you always got like promoted to be like, you know, this super cool World War II soldier, like spy level soldier almost.
right.
because like you would sneak into like undercover like World War II things, like secret projects or whatever. I remember that being a thing. Like they had actual stealth things where it's like,
Right.
oh, you gotta pretend to be a German soldier and sneak in and get the documents or whatever, stuff like that.
See, like I want to say like COD, like Call of Duty, like 4 and like World at War, and even like bit of I would say Black Ops, the first ones. I want to say that these games had those moments of like it's a cutscene or whatever, right? But you had like whatever, like your idea of a cutscene. But instead of it being a cutscene, like you were in the moment. Like there is no cutscene. You are the cutscene. Like everything that's happening. Like let's. I'm gonna say this like from my perspective, like COD 4, right? The final mission of COD 4 is called Endgame, right?
Oh, yeah,
The
that one you
whole
can't forget.
point, like, and how Endgame goes is so it's meant to be like it's gameplay and like fluidity of like what could have been like cutscene esque ideas, but they don't make it a cutscene. They put it into one. I mean, yeah, there was like where you couldn't do anything, and like yeah, it might have been like a tank, or it might have been like a on the rails shooter for a bit.
Yeah.
But like that was such like a you just saved the world from being nuked, and now you have to escape Russia, or whatever the case was.
Yeah.
And like that is where it's like such a highlight because you're like the American troops that are just left there now, and so like that's one. And then I want to say like the end of Modern Warfare 2, like
Modern Warfare 2
final,
is really good.
the end of Modern Warfare 2 when you're in the boat. Like that's it. Like that's like such good like this is like cutscene and gameplay like just together. Like everything just works.
You know what's one I thought of with Medal of Honor. This is like one of the best scenes I've ever seen in like a game. It was Medal of Honor Rising Sun. Like the first two missions, you're at Pearl Harbor. You know when the attacks happen and everything.
Right.
And you're in the Navy and everything. Literally the first mission, you just wake up and it's like, oh, we need to get the hell out of the ship now, and you run through the whole thing like trying to navigate your way around. And then,
Right.
and then as soon as you walk up to the surface, you get hit with an explosion and you look around, it's utter chaos. Complete chaos.
Right.
And then,
I mean,
and then at the end of the mission, you get knocked off the boat. Then you immediately go into the second mission where it's like, your guys pick you up on another boat, like a gunner boat, and they're like, all right, get on the gun. We gotta get out of here, and protect the other boats. And during that second mission, this scene was amazing. I remember it was it's like you guys get hit by like a torpedo or whatever, and like the boat's still operation, like it's still afloat, but it's like temporary disabled. So like, oh, we gotta fix it real quick. And like you're just sitting there, like waiting for it to be fixed, and you're just watching one of the last standing what was it, like aircraft carriers that's still up.
Yeah.
And you're just watching it. As you hear on the radio, the entire radio's messed up, going nuts. You hear Japanese talking at the same time, and as everyone's trying to figure it out, it goes dead silent. No one's talking. You just hear the whistling of bombs coming in, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like a bunch of them just hit the aircraft carrier in front of you, and it's so massive, it just almost knocks over your entire boat. And then you just look as the entire aircraft carrier is now split. It just split, destroyed, completely gone. And then I still remember what was it? The guys saying like they were like, oh my god, we lost like the USS Arizona, and they were like, there's no way this can be happening. And then you just look, like you have to drive up past it, and then you just see it's literally just hundreds of bodies in the water, and it was like, oh my god.
So they took like the realism to like the extreme.
They took it extreme with that.
How was this? Or like when was this game?
It was like 2003.
That's like really. See, I was gonna say like the closest thing to like doing this would be like Spec Ops: The Line. Like Spec Ops: The Line, you like, I forget what it's. But like, it's like you're like a soldier doing your mission in like, I forget what part of like the world it is.
It's like something like a war-torn like Las Vegas or something where it's like desert.
It's not. Well, it's not like it's like a third world country, I believe, or the case might be. But like.
Like Dubai.
You yeah, I think something like that. But you you like mustard gas the people or whatever.
No, the white phosphorus scene. Stop. No.
So like that's like what that is, and that's like terrible too. But that's like a game that like really deals with like but like there's like themes to like these games, like at least like in a game like that. It's like a soldier dealing with like PTSD.
Yeah, that's like a whole game about PTSD.
That's like
and
a whole
everything.
game
And
where
like
you can
a soldier literally going mad.
Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, the final thing of the game is you can not shoot your fellow U.S. soldiers, or you could shoot your fellow U.S. soldiers. Like what? Who makes up a game like that where you just betray the entire like United States like army?
People who don't like the United States Army, that's who made that game.
I don't know. It's just like a very like big like. But are we the bad people? Like what is our purpose? We're soldiers. I don't know. I feel like those games where it's like it gets like a little bit like deep. Where like it gets very deep. Like the COD did that in the past. It was very deep.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 3, like when you
Modern,
get near the
yeah,
end.
like Modern Warfare 3, what happened?
Yeah.
Modern,
so-
what was another one? Literally just Modern Warfare with the whole nuke situation.
I'm
and
gonna
like,
say.
and like the whole
Yeah.
mission in big air quotes of Modern Warfare, like COD 4, where you're just sitting there in the car, as you're literally just sitting there watching acts of terrorism happening on your nation. It's like, oh, this is heavy.
See,
And
I think what was heavy would be like Modern Warfare.
No Russian. Wait, no, we didn't talk about
Yeah,
no,
no
Russian.
Russian,
That was
yeah.
one of the big scenes of the like, like they will never do
I
something like that
mean-
again.
But that's some. Well, I mean, they tried in like every other Modern Warfare after 2.
Yeah.
Like they tried doing it in 3 where it was like the family and the recording. Like that was such a stupid. Like I don't know. Like yeah, that felt like terrible because that's like I'm guessing what was happening in France at the time, and even like nowadays it's like kind of happening.
Oh, now I remember you're talking the gas scene. Oh.
The gas bomb, right?
Oh.
Like that, but like nothing compares to like No Russian
Because
No
it's
Russian-
you doing it. You are
Well,
physically
no-
doing
yeah,
it.
Yeah, but like No Russian was like so that's a culture shock, like absolute culture shock, and it's like what is this game doing? Because that ended up on the news. Like I remember that being the case growing up. Like that was a big
Yeah.
topic in the news. It was like, but like this game is depicting you as a terrorist, and it's just like, what do you do, right? And you're a news reporter or whatever the case is, and you're like reporting on like a game, or you're a game journalist, and now you have to talk about how you played as a terrorist and you had to kill a bunch of people in an airport because that was the
game. Like that was part of the game.
Yeah,
Like
that was the
I
game.
remember back when it first came out, you had to play that. You had no choice. But then
No,
like
you had a choice. I
No,
think.
no. Originally, when the game first came out, there was no choice. You had to do it. You had to play that mission. After it got big on the news, they had to go back and like they had to update the game. Be like, okay, but you need to add in the setting to skip this mission because this is too much.
So can I just say I didn't know that there was an option, or like there was like no options for it. I remember when I was playing the campaign for the first time that they had given us the option to skip it. And it even says like, I forget what it was, but it was like, "Are you sure you want to like chicken out on this, or whatever?" It was like,
Because it's like a
but,
key,
like-
it's like a major plot point to the game. That's why they're like, hey, like I know you're a little uncomfortable. Like this is very important to the story if you care enough.
but like what's like really like messed up too is like growing up as like a kid and you play that mission because you didn't understand what it was. Like you missed out on like something, and you have to go back to that mission to like figure out what happened in like story. And like
Yeah, I remember that. It's back when I was first a kid. I did not understand like what was so like what happened. Then I went back like, oh, I'm a U.S. soldier in disguise. Oh, now I see.
yeah, there was so much going on with that. It's so bad. That like this is where like old school COD has everything. The only thing they have, I would say, like what is it? Like besides like yeah, you can like shoot the family and all that, and like the current Modern Warfare or whatever. And like maybe the gas bomb stuff, right? Where like they're
Oh
like
yeah, when you're like playing as the as like
when
the
you're
girl,
when
the
you're
little
playing
girl.
as the
Like you literally play as a little
Oh,
girl in the gas
right.
bombing from the Russians, and then it's like What else
I'll be
happened?
completely honest. I forgot that
Yeah,
was a
and then
part
you have
too.
to shoot the gun as
I'm
a little
thinking,
girl, and it's
no, I was,
terrifying because you're like she can't hold it, and she's like, "Oh God, what am I
and
doing?"
instead you have to like stab the person with like scissors,
Yeah, because I
which
remember
is
that.
like so
I remember the game.
stupid.
Okay, one thing of controversy with that. I remember the game got banned in Russia because it was like depicting Russians as like awful.
Because I mean, okay, ready? Every COD game does that though, doesn't
That
it?
is no, but like they were just like, no, you cannot portray us as these gas bombing invaders or whatever. I don't know. They were like very not happy. They were not happy.
You see, like, here's a great question, right? Because this is made by like an American like game company now, right? Like, how does like a country like Russia like deal with being depicted as mostly the villains like every time
I don't
in these games?
see. That's what I wonder. Cause
That's a
like
good point.
we are like the main distributor for like games. Us in Japan. So I don't know what
Right? So
happens.
if Russia receives a game like that, right?
I
Like,
don't.
what do they do?
I don't. I
Right?
don't. I don't know what they do.
That's
Cause I remember.
that's like saying like that's I'm trying to think what game it might have been or whatever.
Oh,
I think that's like
I
World
know.
War.
Cause like
I
another.
was like
Yeah,
the Germans.
COD World War II. Because like it's World War II. There are Nazis that exist. I don't even know if I can say that on stream, but it's history. So whatever. But yeah, because it's a part of history. Like they put like Nazi symbols in the game because
Yeah.
they're not gonna hide it. It's not.
It's,
It's not. We're not gonna hide
it
fact.
happens.
It
You
is a.
can't hide
It's
that it
fact. Like
happened.
you can't hide the.
Didn't something get censored?
Yeah,
See,
The
so
what
okay, so in
symbols?
the German release of the game, they had to
It
take out
got
any
censored.
any like Nazi symbolism, like any swastika or anything like that was taken out of the game.
I heard about that.
or if
Yeah, 'cause in
anything, that
Germany that stuff is like
I mean,
no
Very
go.
it's a
sensitive.
really
Yes.
extreme like culture like topic. But like also the thing is though too, if they didn't do anything like that, they would just probably strip it, right? I'm pretty sure that games have been stripped. I think like Japan might have banned like World at War because it was like the Japanese and like
I don't think they did. I don't know if they
I
ever did.
I think if I look this up, I might
I
find some
never heard of them actually banning that.
World at War banned. Call of Duty World at War banned in Japan. Here it is. So I gotta find it. World at War was banned in Japan for gory violence against Japanese soldiers. Be noted that the ban was quickly lifted. So like this is
Oh yeah, that's right because like that was like the first COD game to have like serious gore, and it was also
I mean
coincidentally
that was the
against
one where
against
that was
Japanese
the Japanese who were if you like blew them up
the
they would get
bonsai. They had literal kamikazes.
that was just like a yeah I mean but like you know what the thing was with that game though too that was the game that like that actually was just a gory game like that whatever
No, yeah, that was
intention
brutal. That game. Like
that game was just if you blew off like a piece of someone like you if you like in the other game if you threw a grenade at somebody like they would just like
they
kinda,
would just ragdoll.
they would
But
just
in
ragdoll.
that game, they were like, oh yeah, you hit someone with a grenade. Oh yeah, there's a chance that their limbs will come off and they will sit there in pain. It's like
There's a chance that person would just blow up entirely. Like, what is this game? Like that was like actually like
yeah,
the
and
god of
now they're bringing it back with what was it? They're bringing it back with well, what was it Vanguard because the MG42 exists. So yeah, they're trying to do that with that gun
Oh
now.
wait, what if you get shot by a like that the heavy
Yeah,
machine gun?
yeah. If
get,
you
like,
get shot by the MG42 now, you will actually start losing body parts.
Oh my god.
crazy. But like imagine, but like in reality, that's probably what happened.
That is what happens. Yeah, like there's a reason
like-
it's called the buzzsaw.
I mean, there's also a reason why it's called realism. That's what it is. I mean, granted, you know what? Speaking of realism, I never really understood the reason for like why they made like the realism modes, just so you can get, especially in like the Cold War one. I played through the one where you had like no HUD and like every bullet just seemed to kill everybody in like one hit.
I think that was just people wanting immersion. They're just like, because
I don't think no. I think it's just like you just get one shot by everything. It's stupid.
they wanted that immersion that because like I mean in real life
Like
you
hard, but like okay, like hardcore, like search and destroy. I understand. But like, why is hardcore team deathmatch a thing?
I don't
Right.
people like it.
Yeah, but they make it where it's like in Cold War, anything can, like, a pistol can one-shot you. Like, anything will one-shot you. As long as it, like, hits you. It's so stupid, and I don't know why. It's like, what, I don't know who
It's
made up.
because it's like the people who like like Rainbow Six Siege, where it's like realism. It's like that. People who like those games, I think it's what it's for.
See, like, I also thought Siege was gonna be more real, like, a lot more realism than it is now, and not, like, a competitive shooter. The closest thing to a realism I want to say of anything even existing in like something that's like Siege by Tom Clancy though is
Just
Rainbow
the
Six.
tactics.
Is Rainbow Six Vegas too, and that's because the game was like you had like corner, like it was like a cover based shooter.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I played. I played a couple of those games.
Because like the main thing that we would always play was like me and my buddies with that was terrorist hunt, and the whole point was like, all right, we would go into a map, we would wipe out the terrorists, and that was the mission really, right? Like, but you had like cover based shooter. It's like, okay, we're gonna like stack up on this wall, we're gonna flashbang around the corner, we're gonna enter the room, we're gonna clear it, right? And then like you're gonna like get rid of all the terrorists or whatever the case is. But like that was like interesting and cool, especially because you had like the AI could do stuff. But in Siege it's not like that, because in Siege it's like it's literally like it's a fast-paced competitive shooter if you think about it.
Yeah.
They make it slower in like in like the competitive scene. I mean it's slow. It can be slow because it's like a round. It's like based on rounds kind of, but it's like CS:GO like that. That's just how they operate.
Oh my god, my game lagged.
And now it's like the main competitors
Well,
now too of COD is like a game like Valorant or a game like. I mean, I feel like CS:GO has like always been like the main PC competitor of like all these shooters.
Yeah.
It's like CS:GO,
Cause
and now Valorant's there.
And that Valorant too. I think another thing with it, COD is very bad PC ports.
I think
They're
COD
really bad.
never like I feel like COD never has the standout power on PC, except like for Warzone. That's it. Like, if you don't want like a game where it's like ability based or whatever, like Valorant, and you don't want like a high, like a kind of like you get one shot by CS:GO. I also don't like that in CS:GO, like you have to like drag the gun and like pull it in angles or like in like different directions.
Yeah,
Because
it's supposed to be like, oh, realism. You must control the recoil of.
Well, yeah, well that's a part of it, but like it's also just like so the game has like a learning curve to it, and then once you understand how the guns like aim, you're good. Instead of like being like I point and shoot in the straight line and click, and then like that's just like what COD is. So like some people want the realism. I mean, like honestly, the real competitor against all these games is, I was gonna say, Escape from Tarkov. You want like super realism.
Yeah, that's the big thing that's coming up now. I know Ant plays it. I don't know much
lot
about it.
a lot of people, it's like Dark Souls, right? They want the hardcore experience, and like that's what you're gonna get, right? You're gonna play Escape from Tarkov, and you're gonna realize, why did I decide to wake up in whatever it is, like Russia / wherever it might be, like Ukraine or something.
Ukraine.
It's like somewhere over there, isn't it?
I think so. It's Eastern Europe somewhere.
It's like Eastern Europe, right? But like, it's also literally a death trap because it's just murder central.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on, a game where if you get like shot in the head, it's literally lights out. Your character just literally falls on the ground, and dies. Like that's like so like what? Like imagine like I was 10 years old and I played through that game. I'd be like, what just happened? Like why did I just like knock out? You know, and then it'd be like, all right, in the kill feed, it'd be like, yeah, you died.
That's like how, what was it? Like me and Ant played for Dun for a little bit. It's like that. Because literally, if you get headshot, your screen goes black.
Crazy. I don't know. Like all these games, like there's like people who, if you put the time and effort to make these games, like to the point where it's like it's such an exceptional like piece of art, you're gonna have people eat it up, and then COD just looks like nothing. It's just like so washed up.
Yeah,
I
not
don't know.
wrong.
That's just like my opinion. Like honestly, like I want to say like because like I feel like we've kind of like really like exhausted a lot of like the other areas. Like
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
be
cause like
talked upon.
that's like another reason everyone now is like, oh, it's COD versus Battlefield now, cause after Modern Warfare died off, not Modern Warfare, after
Yeah,
Medal of
I
Honor
would
died
say
off.
like I'd say like since like Halo like died and stuff too, like it's always been like Battlefield's like the closest thing.
It's like they're like the two main like multiplayer shooters left, like the two big AAA ones. Cause like other than that,
Right.
I can't think of anything else. Can you?
There's nothing else honestly in my opinion. I mean like maybe you have like a couple Steam games here and there, like Rising Storm that you can play.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Rising Storm's good.
Well, Rising Storm is good, but like that's the thing, like Rising Storm is good, right? But it's not like whoa.
So, but it's also one of those like realism shooters.
But
So
like
like,
yeah, it's a realism shooter, yeah.
so it's like it's for that like one's like specific crowd.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean, I can't say much else at this point. I feel like that's really just it.
Yeah, I think we did everything.
I think that this shooter's
We talked about like Fortnite, right? And like the shift to battle
Yeah,
royale now.
yeah. I mean, everything's like shifting to battle. I mean, if you're someone already like looking into gaming, you can probably sense that like between the PUBG and Fortnite and H1Z1, like all these other games that had existed at one point, like they're all like the turn into a battle royale for any shooter is not people can get away with. Especially since anything can just end up becoming a cash grab by using a battle, like making a battle pass out of something. So,
That is true. Every game now has a battle pass, pretty much. COD has a battle pass. What
I
else?
mean, like I can understand,
Battlefield's
like,
probably gonna have a battle pass. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm like I like revisited Destiny 2, and
That's got a whole thing there.
that has 15 seasons worth of battle passes, which is kind of stupid and crazy. But I mean, you know what it is though, for like a company like Bungie, if they do that though, it's like so you actually help the developers make more content. Like now they're planning on releasing another DLC in February of next year, so that's something to look out for. I would say if you want maybe to get like back into a shooter, it's like a loot shooter, I guess.
True. Cause like, well, there's like not many loot shooters left. Cause there's
No.
Borderlands coming back, but like after the third game, it hasn't been in a great state.
I mean, they're making the Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Oh, yeah,
So-
I forgot about that. That was revealed at PlayStation the other
That
day.
was
right?
which was revealed, and I was at work and I saw that, and I was like, I had to message somebody that was in my other friend group, and they were like, I can't wait to play this game, and I was like, dude, I'm like, this is the fact that this is even a thing is amazing, because it's based on D&D in a sense, in like the fantasy like genre of a DLC. They're making an entire game based off of one DLC, and well
Yeah.
received it was, which is completely fine by me. It's nerd. It's like already nerdy as it is. Just keep going with it. Make it as perfect as it needs to be. That's all. That's all I got. So yeah.
What else is there? I just had something on my mind. I lost it.
I'm not in your mind.
Oh my goodness. We messed that up badly.
Oh, I remember. Did we talk about like the lowering of CODs? Did we talk about how like now Activision's like now a problem with COD now? Because
You're
like
talking with Blizzard or with just
like no,
COD?
just like Activision, because they published it now. A lot of people don't want to support the new COD because you know what happened between Blizzard and Activision was not exactly pleasant.
I mean, a lot of stuff between.
I mean, more information came out about it. I don't know if you saw that.
No, what happened?
No,
Someone sent it in the chat.
Yikes! Probably.
I
bad.
think it was something about suppressing workers.
Oh
and
yes.
going against
I-
labor
yeah,
laws?
Oh yes. I
Yeah.
remember now. They're stopping unions that or something like that. They're like union stompers.
Oh right, and then California sued them.
Yeah. Then they got another fine for that because you know.
You're not supposed to do that, exactly. It's just, you know what? Blizzard used to be like a great company, and then I think the higher up management of Activision decided to ruin it. Unless it's unless it's actually from Blizzard.
I think it's from it could be a mix. I don't know.
It could be a mix.
Because that's another dumb thing that Activision did that like kind of messed it up. Like, remember guys how Crash 4 came out last year?
Right.
Yeah.
So because of what happened last year, like like Cold War, it got rushed, like super rushed because of what happened where they were like, oh, here's 3 developers, now there's 2 of them. I said that on the podcast, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that whole happened, Sledgehammer. So then they were like, okay, so because we have like little to no work done on Vanguard because of how we just suddenly hired this team again, we're like, okay, so I know, we'll just get like a bunch of the team that's supposed to be working on like more updates and stuff for Crash Bandicoot. Now they're gonna be like, oh no, instead now you guys are all gonna work on like COD Warzone and the next game coming out.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
So yeah, that's like a whole big thing that's happening.
Oh no. I lived. I lived.
No, no, you didn't.
No, it didn't kill.
No, it did. Or Morgana killed.
I don't know.
But yeah, so
COD
that's
is
a whole
solid.
that's a whole train wreck there.
COD and Activision being part of the thing.
It's just the only developer that's staying solid is the one who started it all in Infinity Ward. They're the only ones that are holding it together at this point.
I mean, but if you think about it, like, are they really getting paid big bucks to keep it all together?
I mean, I don't know what other game Infinity Ward has. Like,
I know. So, like, if you think about it, if COD really died,
I feel like
if
COD
Infinity Ward
makes more
goes-
money off of Warzone.
I mean,
but they're the ones who made Warzone. They started Warzone with
I mean-
Modern Warfare, so they
Yeah.
get,
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
so they get most of the
Tricky.
money.
so
but-
if you
but, like,
think
I would think once
tricky to think about.
once Infinity Ward goes, I think that's it. I think that's when COD like is gonna finally fall off for good.
I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, you might see COD resurge if like Fortnite truly dies, but I don't think Fortnite's dying anytime
That's-
soon.
Like, I know people saying it's dying soon, but at the same time, it's like all the kids are playing it, so it's like they get
it's
they get
gonna
so
have-
much money.
you're always gonna have people who are going to be playing it because of the influencers that invoke people to play it. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else I can really say when it comes to
Yeah.
a game like that. I mean, it's Fortnite's Fortnite. If you like that cup of tea, then it's all for you. If you want like your realism, you could give COD a shot. It's just you might not really truly enjoy it like it used to be back then. Honestly, the funniest thing I was gonna say is like if you really want like an old school COD, just go play like an old one and find all the modded lobbies.
Yeah, you can't even do that anymore because of all the modded lobbies. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but like at least like that's like entertaining. I remember those being the case.
Like hackers?
Yeah,
like the
hackers just mess around with it. I
But
remember.
like that was
Fancy on old-
entertaining. Like
I remember.
the whole reason of doing it to get entertained by it, like how they would like speed hacks their like way through everything or whatever.
Yeah, I remember one thing with what was it? Especially with World at War, there was so much funny stuff they would do with the mods where they would like they would give you special weapons. Like there's a special weapon in the game. Like it's like something with the code. Like it's just called default gun. I guess for like modeling and animation purposes, where it's literally just
Right.
your character using its fingers. It's just their fingers.
I remember like in that, I remember like the only thing that was like really kind of big was boosting your prestige to like whatever, and like making your prestige like crazy,
Yeah,
And then-
I remember that.
and like naming like you having like the name tags and stuff like that or whatever it was that would like turn like different colors.
Yeah, I knew like pretty much all of my friends would mod it, but like I wouldn't
I'm
do
dead,
it.
bro. I'm dead.
But I wouldn't do it because I didn't want to like
Make him
lose
fat.
my
Make him
account.
fat.
Because I know a bunch of my friends, they like all lost their accounts and stuff because of it.
Well, yeah, because it was against like terms of service. That's why.
Yeah. Well, I
What,
like
bad words and stuff.
no, like
No.
like modding the game.
Oh.
Like I remember, because I remember there was a mod that people were able to do like, oh, you can have 2 Xbox avatars at the same time, but obviously that was like kind of illegal, so they lost their.
I mean,
accounts.
I remember that like that being there like so much involved to like mod your thing. It's just like so stupid. I might have even had modded something at one point for like Modern Warfare 2.
in like the life cycle of it. I forget it. It's so old. It's so old.
There was only one thing I ever had modded once. It was I had like a modded controller, but it was supposed to be like, oh, you can use your faster trigger finger. But instead I was like, you know what? I'll just play regularly because like I was faster without it anyway, so I was like, whatever.
But yeah, pretty much it.
I need MR. But I don't know what to go for MR. Oh, John getting tired over there.
Yeah, late. What can you do? Almost 10 o'clock as it is.
True. Trying to think what else. I think we talked about. Oh yeah, with like, did we talk about how Treyarch's like about to fall off now with their last few, like their last
Who's
three.
Treyarch?
They made Cold War, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4.
Honestly, if you haven't heard about them at that point, then I don't think it's necessary. 'Cause I
What
feel like,
happened?
They're all their games are falling off hardcore.
I mean,
How are they falling off?
Well, for one, you played Black Ops 3. You hated it because it was pretty bad.
Oh, I hated the campaign. I loved the zombies.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the only thing that's good about that game.
The zombies was great.
The zombies is the only thing that's good. Everything else, kind of stinks.
You know I loved the zombies. I loved the maps on there. They had really great maps.
Like everyone agrees, like yeah, Black Ops 3 was like the pinnacle of zombies, but in terms of everything else, it kind of stunk.
Yeah, because I remember we were playing, I think it was the prologue?
It was like the first 3 missions
We were playing
yeah.
prologue or something like that, and I'm like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah, it was really boring. Like, apparently there's a whole big twist in the game, but like, it doesn't make any sense, and it's not obvious to the player unless you like go through and dig through the game. But like, it's just campaign, no one's gonna dig through it. But so yeah, Treyarch fell off with that game. Their like campaign was dead. So in Black Ops 4, they were like, oh, you know what? We have a better idea. Let's have no campaign and just put Battle Royale. And that was super dumb. I thought that was a terrible decision for the game. Because then there was a sort of campaign, but not really. It was kind of just do objectives in the game mode for what's the word? The like Battle Royale game mode, and then after you did it, you would unlock cutscenes of the story, and then the story did not piece together well at all. It was really bad.
I feel like the Call of Duty Zombies crew back then really had a lot of spice in them, especially with the voice actors.
That was that's like the thing we said before. Where it's like that's where all
Who did we meet?
That's where
we
all the
met,
personality came from. Like
we met a few of the voice actors. Who did we meet?
Steve Bloom was Tank Dempsey. We met him. We met Fred Tetascure. He voices Nikolai. And there's 2 more. It's Nolan North as Rick Tompin, and it's like I always forget Takio's voice actor. I know it's like Tom. His name's Tom. His name's like Thomas or something. I always forget him. He's not. He's not in as much stuff as the other guys. That's why I forget him. Yeah, no, I miss those guys. They were great.
Yep.
But yeah, and then Black Ops 4, like, cause like at the end of the Black Ops 3, the zombie storyline, it was like, oh, the entire time you were fighting to break the cycle, but psych, you were actually in a cycle the whole time and you could never get out of it. So everyone was like, oh, that ending sucks. What the hell? Like everyone wanted a better ending, so they're like, okay, we'll try to fix it this game. But then the zombies came out and they ruined the gameplay of the entire thing.
Right.
Cause like it came out and first of all the HUD to look at was the most disgusting convoluted HUD of all time. Like it was like it cluttered your screen. Like there was too much. Like that was it. Then they had 2 storylines going at the same time, and the new storyline that they made was terrible. The characters were horrible, and pretty much all of their maps were not good. They were just trying to be like, oh look, now the Greek gods are in zombies, and now look, it's the Titanic. Remember the boat that sank with 1 billion people in it? That's definitely not accurate, but whatever. So yeah, they tried to do that with the new storyline. Storyline flopped completely, and I don't think they're bringing it back. That's why they went back to the original storyline for. But then at that ending, it was like it's a very bittersweet ending, but like you can't extend it anymore. Like I feel like that ending was perfect because like I remember I went through it with Civ and we did the ending and we sat there and we were like 10 years of our life for this moment. 10 years we've been doing this and we finally here. And it hit us hard. A whole decade. So then Cold War's out now and like we said it's all rushed and it's not polished and the zombies just not good.
Alright.
Simple as that. The new games just aren't good anymore.
It's over. For COD. It's
It,
for
it
Warzone.
it's getting there. It's gonna get there soon. But for now, we just gotta wait and see for Vanguard to come out. Maybe
So
it'll bring the series back.
hopefully we could talk about that when the time comes.
Yeah. But for now, we'll call it an episode. Pretty good.
Mhm.
All right. Next episode gonna be the 1st of October. Getting into the console wars and the PC superiority debate everyone loves to talk about and fight about. And then the next episode on October 15th, we got video games becoming the norm and mainstream. And then at the end of the month for October, the 29th, we're going to talk about the treatment of video game employees with the industry lately. And yep, that's it, guys. So, call an episode here. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Right.